Apple getting bitten by more labor issues? Let's talk to returning champ Ernie Scheider. Okay, Ernie, Apple is down about 2% today. Strike at Foxconn, the factory that makes most of the Apple iPhones and iPads. Of course, executives at Foxconn saying, what strike?
Right, so you have this labor group coming out and basically saying that a lot of workers have gone on strike there right now. Foxconn denying, sort of unclear. What we do know, though, is that the iPhone 5 just came out recently from Apple and that there have been tight supplies out there of it. So, this labor issue, whatever it is, however large it is not coming at really at a good time for Apple.
Right, the video you're looking at, by the way, is from the last troubles at Foxconn, not from the latest one. But we talked to Jeffrey Crothall. He is from the China Labor Bulletin about the troubles for the factory workers, and here's what he had to say.
The wages they provide are nowhere near a living wage. Workers still have to struggle very hard to make a living, and they're still working 10, 12 hours a day under quite oppressive and stringent conditions, and that's why you see these disputes cropping up time and time again.
All right, also a chilling effect here for some of the makers of components of the Apple iPhone. If we take a look at some of them across the board, Texas Instruments, Qualcomm, etc., red arrows for everybody today.
Also not good news if you're a rival like an HP or a Dell that, they use Foxconn to make a lot of their equipment as well. So this can't be good news for them either. All
right, let's move on to the news today about Walmart and American Express. They're offering a nice little card called Bluebird.
It's got a good name.
Does it sing? I don't know. For lower income shoppers who might have tough access to credit, prepaid card. Now, really the ripple effect of this is that Green Dot, a reloadable prepaid card, and NetSpend Holdings both down. Look at Green Dot's down about 20%, over 20% today.
Huge drop. And, as we've seen with Walmart in the past, when it decides to get into an industry, it really goes and moves with full. Exactly. So Walmart moving into this space, if you're an investor in a Green Dot, you're going to be pretty nervous today right now. So basically what Walmart and Amex are doing is they're allowing customers to set up for like a direct deposit to be put into an account that's linked to an American Express card, and you can do that free of charge. And so that's basically going to help basically give consumers access to more credit, or basically you shop more with plastic in areas that they wouldn't before. What I'm really curious about, though, is Walmart and Amex have promised free withdrawals from Amex ATMs.
Right.
Now, I don't know about you, but I've actually never ever seen an Amex ATM.
I don't think I have either.
Right, and so, that certainly doesn't mean they don't exist, of course, but what we do know is the number of non-Amex ATMs is prolific.
Huge.
So Walmart and Amex have said if you want to withdraw from one of those ATMs, there's a $2 fee, and then those banks are going to charge you a fee on top of that. So I'm just curious.
There's a catch to everything.
Right. There's a lot of fees here, so it's not a total gold win for their customers.
Right. All right. Let's move to the hotspot, and as we do, remember to check out the snaps that run at the bottom of your screen for more headlines of the day. Navistar, I like this one. It's like a monster truck fight that you can see on cable, except there's Carl Icahn involved. You probably wouldn't see him involved.
Always a big fight with Icahn.
Yes, and fellow activist investor Mark Wachesky. They lost a proxy fight last year. Now they're in there. Wachesky's on the board. The Navistar stock is up 7% today.
Really good sign. Vote of confidence, basically, that it looks like this proxy fight is behind Navistar, and now it can actually move forward to, hey, business as usual.
The big trucking company, obviously.
Exactly. Let's forget. We almost forgot that they actually did stuff. So Reuters had an interview last week with Navistar's CEO, and the CEO admitted that he might have to close some plants or do some layoffs. So really, these new board members are coming in just at a bit of crunch time.
Right.
So Icahn for a long time had been saying, look, Navistar doesn't know how to run itself. It's not really operating very efficiently.
Right.
Well, these board members have to come in now and really have to contend with improving Navistar, working with the management to really basically live up to what they promised.
Absolutely. Okay, the market value of Carl Icahn's holdings from Navistar today, with the boost in the stock price, Icahn's truckload, $227 million.
Let's see if he can help increase that.
Let's see if he can add even more to that. Okay, from Navistar to Netflix.
Yep.
This is a funky stock because it's been up and down. It's been up and down. Morgan Stanley now upgrading Netflix, giving a big boost to its price target and saying Amazon not really a competitor.
Right, you wouldn't think at first blush that it would be, but let's not forget through Amazon's Prime service, you can rent videos, $2, $3, $4. A lot of people have it, right? Because it also has other parts to Amazon's experience that you can utilize, like free shipping and whatnot. So a lot of people love that. So there has been some concern that that's going to basically eat Netflix's lunch. What's really interesting at Morgan Stanley, the thesis is that, look, Amazon has to keep the movie rentals coupled with the full Amazon price service. And if it were to uncouple that, they'd have to invest about $1 billion, $1.5 billion to match Netflix's content.
Right.
It's a really, really interesting thought. I'm not sure how it would play out in the real world, but basically it's helping the stock today for Netflix.
Sure.
And let's not forget, they plowed billions of their own money into content. We might talk about how they lost some Starz contracts a few months ago or other contracts, but still, their library is mammoth. And basically, Morgan Stanley is just pointing out that Amazon would have to invest a lot to match that.
Interesting. Okay, let's move back and go to the market monitor and see what the markets are doing today. We have some red hours across the board. World Bank cut growth forecast for East Asia. Eurozone debt crisis. So we've got Q3 earnings coming out on the cusp of that.
Exactly. So a lot of people are nervous also ahead of the U.S. presidential elections where things are going to go. But let's go back just to the World Bank report. It basically forecast a weak East Asia and weak China. Now, this is not surprising. This is not new.
Right.
But what the World Bank did is they came out and they basically highlighted a lot of the fears people have. And from such a prestigious organization as the World Bank, that's causing a lot of people to be a little antsy today.
Absolutely. Okay, finally, we're going to close out on a story from our good friends at Bloomberg. Allscripts Healthcare Solutions, electronic health records. They're up today 3% because they're considering an LBO and they're getting their first round of bids from some PE firms. Yes,
so let's not forget the healthcare legislation, colloquially known as Obamacare, really wants to make a push for big electronic records, and that's sort of Allscripts' forte. But it's been criticized the past few years for weak management or inefficient operations, and PE really, what does it pride itself on? Many things it prides itself on, of course, but really improving and turning around business operations. And so clearly these PE firms see a business they feel is not operating well in an industry that's forecast to grow.
Sure.
So buy low, sell high.
Sell high. Okay, he's Ernie Scheider. And remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Reuters Insider. Check out our YouTube channel. That is Reuters.com/ReutersTV. I'm Lisa Bernhard, and this is Reuters.